Hello fellow humans and welcome to an episode of Your Replays, and today we're going to talk about how to have fun when you're not having fun. Now first of all, lower tiers are more fun because in lower tiers people don't have a clue what's going on. I mean, they don't have a clue in higher tiers either, but lower tiers can be more fun. So if you're having trouble at higher tiers, go down a couple of tiers. For example, with a vehicle like the Pharaoh, 2k DPM, 3-shot autoloader, 7 degrees of gun depression, solid-ish mobility, and well, armor, that's pretty damn solid. So this vehicle can be pretty fun. If you, let's say, you're not having a great time at T10, go down a couple of tiers and it'll be a bit better. I don't really know what the Tiger is doing. Like, also, I have no idea what this entire construct of this battle is because, first of all, going city on Middleburg is a pretty bad idea. And then also turning sideways in front of an autoloader while being stock and camo-less isn't really a great idea. So just keep that in mind. And Tiger, please, I hope you're in a good place. If you need help, blink twice. Obviously, the Pharaoh is an autoloader, so it's not the easiest of tanks to play, but it's still relatively nice. So essentially, you've got a decent vehicle here. Or, I don't know, even if you have a Smasher or something like that, if you're having a tough time at higher tiers, just go down a couple, because the lower you go, the less threat there is, really, from enemies. But don't Steel Club. That's not cool. Like, you don't want to play, like, tier 2 and tier 3. No. Like, 7, 6, 5, that's cool. Now, I don't really get the construct of this game here at all, because there's a dog just standing there. Now, the map control, somewhat there, right? There is the M6 sort of holding that together and keeping quite a big part of the enemy team busy over there. But still, it's a complete city fight, which it's sort of okay. Like, if both teams are in the city and both teams just lug it out, you have a massive disadvantage because in the city, the one that peaks first gets shot first. So essentially, you're sort of a bit, like, you gotta camp a bit. Or you just simply wait for your teammates to take the shot and then you peek, basically. Which, in a lot of cases, is how it's gonna go because, like that VK earlier, I got no clue. And now, 2 versus 4. 2,000 damage done already, which is very good already for tier 7. And now, a little bit of a mistake there, just not aiming, also not looking. Like, if you go into this position, you gotta be aware that the VK is there, the Tiger's there, and they can shoot you from the side. So, a little bit of an oversight there. Could have done that better. And now, what's very important here is to keep them away from you. You don't want all 4 enemies coming close at you. You absolutely do not want that. You want all 4 of them one by one by one. You don't want all 4 converging at you at once. That's the worst thing that can happen. Especially full HP, so a lot of good chance to still pull this off. Now, you can side scrape in this vehicle a bit, but obviously setting up a side scrape here is essentially impossible because the 45 TP can shoot you on the side. So things like that. If you get things like that, if you consider that, you're already golden and you're pretty much going to be playing better than 80% of players just by following these simple steps of what's going on around me. That's all. Now, the T-34 85 kind of doesn't do that. I mean, humans are supposed to have a sense of self-preservation, right? But that's kind of turned off for a lot of Blitz players, like peeking out sideways like that and just eating it. I don't know about it. Now, 1v3. Colobanus medal is on the table and 3.7k damage. And now what you want to do is you want to separate these vehicles one by one. You don't want that Tiger attacking you while you're still shooting at the 45 TP. Now, see, another tiny mistake here. Just not being aware where the Tiger really is and just going too far forward and taking another shot from the Tiger. And now, there you go, pulling back. That's good. That's how you want to be. So, awareness can be improved. But see, these little things, if you pay attention to that, okay, where is the house? Where's the Tiger? Where can he shoot me? So you aren't on your way to bankruptcy. And again here, you keep the one shell, peek out in reverse, and then take a shot from the Tiger. Not ideal. But now, you got the autoloader, 18 seconds of reload, so you gotta wait quite a while. And the Tiger has played this pretty horribly. To his credit, he's played it pretty horribly. Because, aim, please. If you're in a situation of this, aim. Aim your shots. Please. Now, the Tiger has played this absolutely horrible because this entire time he could have been attacking, but he just does nothing. He just sits there. And now, 10 seconds reload. This Tiger can very easily now just close in, go for it, send it, but he just decides to drive into a house instead, which is very lovely. And now, the reload's done. There we go. And now the Tiger, instead of just sending it, because all he needs is one shot into the side of the lower plate, and he can take 2 shots. He's just sitting there. Now he's going to peek out sideways for some reason and miss. Lovely. So here's the thing. If this game tells you one thing, is that you can make mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. As long as your mistakes aren't worse than that of the enemy, you will still get an absolutely fantastic game like this one. Well done. Now, Object 907. It's in the shop currently. 3,400 DPM, 310 alpha damage. It's going to get nerfed a little bit soon. 7 degrees of gun depression. And overall, very good accuracy, very good mobility. Armor, not really much there, but it can work a little bit if you get lucky bounces here and there. Now, we just saw a game on Middleburg that had a couple of tiny errors in it, right? That are just basically just lack of awareness, right? For example, the tiger behind the house. You know, here, it's a little bit different. Here what we have is we have a lack of team entirely. And we have supremacy. Now, the problem with supremacy is that it can sometimes play in your favor, but a lot of times, especially if you're in a 1vx situation, it does the exact opposite. Because if you're in the position that you have to, like 1v3, you probably already had a bad team in the first place, and a bad team doesn't take a lot of cap circles. And therefore, you probably don't have a lot of cap circles, and you're losing on points, which is another extra variable to add to your game. Which means, especially if you're a new player, let's say you're under 3,000-4,000 battles, turn off supremacy. Just turn it off. Don't play supremacy when you're beginning the game. Because another big problem of supremacy is that a lot of the cap circles are in the city. Which means that if you play a lot of supremacy, you're sort of inclined to go city a lot. So when you then go into an encounter where going city is about the worst possible choice you can make, that's not really a great idea. So turn off supremacy, play encounter until you're good at encounter, and then add the extra variable that supremacy is, because that's all it is essentially. It adds an extra variable to the outcome of the game. We have to also consider the points. And now there's a T95 there, which you can't really pet. Now, the big problem with the Object 907 is its low alpha damage. Only currently 310. Will be 320 soon. But still, it's not a lot, which means you have to peek a lot. You have to expose yourself a lot, to go out there. You have 3.4k DPM, so you have that massive advantage. You can shoot twice for every time the enemy shoots once, because your reload is only 6 seconds. But the problem of that is also you have to shoot twice for every time the enemy shoots once, which means you expose yourself more, you get into more danger, because you're simply more out in the open, more in front of the enemy's guns. So that's not really that great. But if you're behind a tank destroyer, there's nothing they can do about it. And this is why I don't like tank destroyers. They're just inflexible. They're just inflexible as hell. I like that bit of flexibility, because whatever the situation calls for, a medium tank can often do pretty well. But a tank destroyer are often sort of confined to their roles and their positions. If you get out of them, it doesn't work quite as nicely anymore. But now, here's the problem. The M6 yaw that is left is taking the B cap circle. The points right now are very even, which is not that big of a disadvantage, but the problem is the yaw is taking that cap circle, and they're same problem as in the first game. Aim your shots when they count. Like, you can slur shots out there when it doesn't matter, when it's the first minute of the game. Just yeet them out there, peek extremely quickly, and you send the shot. They can't hit you back. Just send it at that point. But if you're in a situation like this, you want to make sure that every shot counts, and then that's where you aim fully and properly. Now, ideally, you'll also want to be fast and precise, but if you can only be one, be fast when it doesn't matter, be precise when it does. And now, the Vickers Light is gone, because, I mean, playing out in the open is in vogue, as the kids say. I mean, they don't, but still. See, always play near cover. Always play near cover. It's also another very basic tip. Always play near cover. Don't be, like, out in an open field. Ever. Ideally. Unless you have to, unless you know that you're safe out there. Don't ever be out in the open field. Always be within a couple of meters of cover, because then you're not going to get destroyed. But That's the problem with Supremacy. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been a win anyway, given the ores and autoloader. But hey, nice ace, 5.5k damage, but the Supremacy points have screwed it.